Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I feel like I haven't filmed a Disney video with ears in so long, but I am finally back into it. I am slowly trying to be caught up on videos and make sure I'm getting videos out on time. So yeah, if you are new here, my name is Katelyn. I post Disney videos and lifestyle kind of videos, vlogs, just regular day vlogs, Disney vlogs, kind of anything that I feel like posting is what you will see on this channel. If you would like to subscribe, that would be awesome. You'll be notified on when I post new videos. And if you are already subscribed, then thank you for your constant support. I appreciate it so much. I've gotten a few new followers on here, or subscribers on here. I'm assuming from the Disney videos, Disney vlogs, which I hope you guys are loving. I have been so happy that I've finally been able to edit them and get them up. I find it takes a while after a trip, after we get home. Like, I just kind of get the Disney blues, and watching videos back, like, it kind of makes me sad because I'm like, oh, I just want to go back. I don't want to edit videos of being there. I want to be there. So I'm happy I'm finally able to share those with you. So today's video, we are going to be talking about, we're not really talking, I'm talking. I'm going to be talking about the All-Star Movies Resort at Walt Disney World, and my experience with it, and kind of like my room review, sort of, I guess. So yeah, I'm basically just going to kind of touch on each of the different aspects of the resort, kind of walk through what my experience was, how I felt about the resort. If you guys are ever interested in possibly staying at this resort, then this video would probably be beneficial to you. So basically I'm just going to walk through all the different aspects of the resort, touch on what I thought of them. Okay, sorry, Austin just called me. So I don't really know where I left off, but basically I'm just gonna kind of go through all the different aspects of the resort and kind of touch on my opinions of them and kind of what I thought, and like a little bit of pros and cons maybe about each. All right, so first starting off with the room. So when we went, we were there in October of 2019, and we got there basically just as all the resorts had finished their updates, their refurbs. So all of the rooms now, sorry, not resorts, all the rooms have finished their updates. So all of the rooms now are updated, so they all have beautiful laminate floors. Some of them have 2 queen beds, some of them have 1 king bed. The one that we had the pull down Murphy bed. So basically when you walk in, how it's set up is there's 1 queen bed and then there is a Murphy bed that's pushed up, so there's a table there. So obviously because it's just the 2 of us, we don't need the bed down, so we just kept it up the whole time. But if you did have kids, or if you were staying like 2 couples or something in a room, there is that option to pull it down. When the bed is down, it is a really small space, so kind of mind that if you're looking for of a more spacious area. It's definitely a smaller room, but other than that, it was like the perfect size for us. I always talk about whenever we go to Disney, when we pick our resort, it's basically just a place to sleep. It's nothing, we're not always looking for the fanciest place to stay or the nicest place to stay. I mean, I would love to stay at some of the nicest resorts there, but that's not, at the end of the day, it's more so just that we're at Disney. We don't really care where we sleep, so that's why I don't mind staying at some of the value resorts. Honestly, it's one of the cheapest spots to stay. That is why we chose that resort when we went, so that is also obviously a plus on that side. And then also when we were there, this one actually did have a bath shower, so it was like the 2-in-1. When we stayed at Pop, they only had a shower, so I don't know if that's something that you would want to keep in mind. And then also we were on the 4th floor, which I never like, but I never really prioritize that on like room requests. I would love to have a room on the 1st floor so that at the end of the night we don't have to walk up 4 flights of stairs. But we found the elevator about halfway through our trip, and we use the elevator almost every night to go up to our room, and I feel so lazy saying that, but if you've been to Disney, you know how much walking you do in a day, and just 4 flights of stairs at the end of a Disney day is not what you want to do. But it is nice because when you're on the 4th floor, you don't have anybody oh my goodness, you don't have anybody above you, so you don't hear footsteps or anything at night. For the most part, we're out of our room pretty early in the morning, and then we're in our room pretty late at night. So we never really are woken up by people, or we're never having issues falling asleep listening to other people. So I can't really touch base on that if the rooms are like if they're thin walls, or if you can hear stuff through the doors or the ceiling or whatever, because we don't typically hear people, because we are like kind of right at both ends of the spectrum for time frames. So I can't touch on that, but overall, I loved the room. I 100% would stay there again to be in that room. It was really clean. It was fresh. It was all bright inside. So I really enjoyed the room. Transportation. So one of the big things when you're staying at Disney is how you're going to get around. From the All-Star Resorts, we are only able really to take the bus, and then that's your like included transportation. And then you obviously can take Uber or minivans or Lyft. You can take those at a cost. The only time we ever really spend money on Uber or any car services is if we're going to another hotel for a like dinner or something, or a breakfast, where it's hard to transport from a resort to a park to a resort. That's just personal preference, but I don't think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, oh no, we did take an Uber once to go off-site, but yeah, we didn't really take Uber from the resort much. But Uber is always great when we're there. Lyft I've never used, but I hear that it's really great. So they're always good, and they know what they're doing. They live in a tourist place, so they know their way around and everything. And there's no issues with getting in and off property. Basically, if you're in an Uber and you're driving into your hotel, they ask the driver like where they're going. They say, oh, we're dropping off guests, and then they typically at the gate will scan your Magic Band to make sure that you are staying there, which is nice, because then it does make you feel safe when, like, as like somebody who's staying there, they're not just letting anybody onto the premise. You do kind of have to have a reason to be going on there, which is nice and makes me feel safe. So I'm good with that. But talking on the buses, so the Disney buses are the way, or basically the only way of Disney transportation that you have from All-Star Movies. They're good as always. I never have issues with the buses. I know people despise the Disney buses, but I don't know, like, you just have to have good time management, and you have to not mind standing for a minute or two. But yeah, I don't mind the buses at all. I did find with this one that buses were filled up more often, because typically you sometimes would share a bus with sports or music. Sometimes you would get a bus to yourself, but sometimes it was shared. So I found that time it would clog up a lot. Also, the All-Star Resorts are meant to hold a lot of people, so there are a lot of people at the end of the night at those bus stops. So sometimes you are waiting for a couple buses to go past, but I did found that they sent more buses more often with the All-Star Resorts. I don't know if that was just like luck of the draw or what, but I feel like we never waited more than 20 minutes for a bus, which is typical. Like, you're supposed to have a bus about every 20 minutes, but we never waited more than that. So that was a good thing. Oh, the other thing too is that if you are flying into Orlando and you are taking the Magical Express from the Orlando airport to your hotel, all the All-Star Resorts take the same Magical Express. So on your way dropping people off, Movies is the last resort that they drop off at. Kind of a bummer, because you're like waiting impatiently for people to get off the bus so that you can go to get off at your stop. But it is nice because at the end of your trip, when they're picking people up, All-Star Movies again is the last resort they pick up. So you don't have to worry about waiting for other ones to get to the hotel or to get to the airport. They just bring you right to the airport. So I did enjoy that part of it. That's just something I figured I would touch on, because I guess some people probably would care to know that. So there you go. So location of the resort. So all, I think, of the value resorts, other than the campsites obviously, all of the value resorts are located closer to Animal Kingdom. So if you're looking at it on a map, Magic Kingdom is up here, and then like Epcot is like here, I think, and then it's like Hollywood Studios and then Animal Kingdom, and then like all of like the All Stars and Pop and everything is all down here-ish. It might be backwards, it might be flipped, but regardless, that's kind of the layout. So you are closest to Animal Kingdom, so if you're looking to go for an early morning at Animal Kingdom and get on Avatar, Flight of Passage, then that is obviously a positive for you. If you're looking to go to Magic Kingdom, let's say, it is the furthest park, but it's really not that long of a drive. I know people are always like, oh, it's so far away from Magic Kingdom, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, well, of course it is. If you're staying at the Grand Floridian, it takes 2 seconds to get to Magic Kingdom. But obviously if you're staying at one of the further resorts, it's going to take a little bit longer. But it's really not that long in the grand scheme of things. I mean, again, driving home at the end of the night, 1 a.m., it's very tiring if you don't have a seat on the bus if you're standing. But other than that, it's not anything to kind of complain about it all, in my opinion. So I want to talk about the amenities for a little bit. So the food court, obviously there is a pool, I think there's a couple pools. We only ended up going to the one because where we were located in our room, we had a preferred room, which I always recommend getting if you have the budget to kind of go up a little bit. It's just nicer because it's closer to the bus stop, it's closer to the food court. You don't have to walk as far at the end of the night. Yeah, it's a nicer area to kind of be in. But anyways, we were staying at the Toy Story section of All-Star Movies, which is one of the closest sections to the main pool, which is Fantasmic, and then it's closer to the food court, and then also close to the bus stop. So it's like right in the middle of everything, which I love because, again, you don't have to walk as far at the end of the night. Can you tell what my like key things are when I'm looking for a room? So when we were at the Fantasmic pool, we went actually a couple times this trip. Normally we don't really spend a lot of time at the pool, but I think we did at least a couple days at the pool because it was still so hot when we went. It was beautiful. It was never crowded ever. Like, obviously it's busy because it is, again, a resort with a lot of kids and a lot of people. But it was never so crowded that we were in the pool and I felt like I was gonna bump into people. Like, Austin and I were playing with the beach balls and like having fun, so loved that. It was obviously always clean and tidy. Lifeguards are always great there, but that's just Disney service. That's kind of what you get everywhere with Disney, so that's obviously one of my pros of staying on site with Disney. Oh, the food court. The food court was always busy, but there was always seats available, so you never had to worry about sitting down to eat, not finding a table. There was always tables available. The food there was good. It's like any food court at Disney. It's like kind of the classics: burgers, chicken strips, there's pizza, there's pasta. They have really good breakfast there, but I think that's like all stars. I know they have those really cool cupcakes, and every day we walked by the cupcake like display, and I was always like, we need to get a cupcake, we need to buy a cupcake, and we never did because at the end of the day I was never ever like looking for food because I was stuffed from the day, so we never got one. But they do sell those cool cupcakes at All-Star, which I think is like one of their like signatures. Overall, I think like the main premise of this kind of review of the All-Star Movies resort is that it is just a cheap spot to stay. If you're looking to kind of experience Disney for the first time and your budget isn't that high, and you just want to stay on property and still get all the benefits of staying on property, the All-Stars are a great spot to stay, especially movies now because they are done their refurbs. I know that they're going with the music and sports. I don't know which one's going next for refurbs, but I know eventually they all will get the refurb. But right now, obviously movies is completely done, so that's a great spot to stay. That is basically my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other questions about this resort or any other resorts I've stayed at, which I will link down below all the other reviews that I've done, please leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. Let me know what other kind of videos you would like to see in the future for reviews wise, or my opinions on things. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, obviously subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!